Alright, so I kind of want to try out some more tower buffs in this update, and the one that most people have been talking about right now is the biggest one. And I can kind of see why going over the patch notes. Basically, in a nutshell, what they did is big one and biggest one, the bottom crosspath 502 and 402, is overall stronger, but at the trade-off, you actually lose black popping. Yes, very unfortunate. Again, Ninja Kiwi with their removing of towers being able to have normal damage type. I can see why they're kind of doing that, but I guess to maybe have stronger Jones synergy. It is just a little bit unfortunate that it's kind of happening. Overall, I think it's kind of a change for the better, because if you're using biggest one, you're probably using Jones. I don't really see a reason why you'd want to use biggest one without, like, Striker Jones, except for, like, specific strategies that don't really need Jones. But I mean, other than that, I think this is kind of a fair change and not really a kind of change that I'm upset with. I do understand why, kind of removing the black popping from top path mortar. I still am salty about bomb though. Bottom path bomb did kind of get axed. But oh well, it's kind of a change I did see coming. At least it can still pop blacks in battles too, I believe. Anyways, let's see if we can actually save up for Striker now. Chose off the coast because why not? I think this is kind of a cool map. I do like the beach for those who live near the coast. I don't really go to the beach often, but when I do, it's pretty fun. RIP to those who lived in landlocked states, or just kind of lived in a landlocked region in general. So I think we'll kind of go for our standard early game defense before we actually go for mortar. Because mortar I don't really think is too strong until you get all the way up to tier 3, and that's kind of a lot of money to spend. So what exactly did they do? Well, basically the general damage of the big one was increased, I think from like well, I think it's like 7 to 8 or something like that. The price has also been cut by a lot. It used to cost 8,000 on medium mode, now it only costs 6,500, so that's pretty huge. The Burny stuff damage was also increased for the big one. And the kind of last change that affect biggest one is the Burny stuff damage bottom crosspath also did get buffed slightly. It was only like 5 more damage, which isn't really a whole lot. Once you kind of get level 20 Striker Jones, that does mean that the Burny stuff will actually be doing 100 damage per tick, which is quite a lot. And so at this point, I think we've kind of reached the point to where I don't really believe that there's a reason to actually go for middle crosspath anymore. It's because I think bottom crosspath has just kind of eclipsed it. Sure, like, you could argue, well, yeah, like Cerams or anything, but it's just like, I feel like when it comes, like, popping the Cerams would be better than, like, stunning them. But I guess it could also kind of be kind of a double-edged sword, because that does mean you do lose out on attack speed in exchange for more damage. So that could also be kind of a reliability thing. As well as the fact that I do forget that the biggest one does have a Moab stun. It's just that I never really use biggest one too often that I never really noticed. But overall, I think this gets the official Person 87 seal of approval from me. I think this is a good change overall. But yeah, look at that. Only 7k in Chimps mode is so cheap right now. Like before, I believe it used to cost like 9,000. Anyways, let's actually go for Burny stuff just so I don't accidentally go for middle crosspath. And I think we could maybe save this up 7k before the mob, not actually too sure. But I mean, if not, I could always maybe get like a tier 4 alchemist right here, and that hopefully should be enough. I could have shell shock to stun ceramics. Alright, round 40 rolling in. I could honestly just use Striker stun. Get some more damage on this, stun a little bit. And then ceramics should hopefully be no problem with these stun. Perfect, perfect. The only issue is going to be black Bloons later on. I don't know if this change actually affects the biggest one, because I do believe that all tier 5 mortars are able to pop black Bloons. So I'm kind of unsure if this change actually affects the biggest one or if it just affects the big one. Because in my opinion, big one not being able to pop black Bloons I think is fine, but I still feel like the tier 5 should be able to pop black Bloons. I mean, they are tier 5s after all. If I had to guess, probably yes. We don't actually need MIB just because Striker Jones does have his main specialty is making black Bloons vulnerable. Alright, able to afford big one, and I honestly think we could straight up save for biggest one with this defense here. The only issue is probably going to be Moabs, but just due to the general damage that this guy is going to deal at this point, I think Moabs should be fine. Alright, Moab incoming, and let's see how the damage is. It's okay, it's not bad, not bad. I feel like we could beat anything like under ZOMG. As long as we can actually get biggest one up before, like, you know, the late 70s, we should honestly be fine. I don't know how fortified BFBs are going to be. We definitely aren't beating a ZOMG with this. I mean, we probably could, but just barely using Striker's level 10. But something I didn't even realize is that we actually won't be seeing too many zebras or black balloons just because biggest one does so much damage that it actually skips the zebra layer. The only time we actually ever see it is if we actually pop rainbows kind of outside the main explosion. So I guess it's kind of not really a huge change then. You know, it's kind of crazy to think that once upon a time, bottom cross path was actually like the worst cross path you could get. But now I honestly think it's the better of the two. Although Ninja Kiwi still hasn't really kind of touched middle path mortar with bottom cross path. Because as it stands, I don't think there's actually a real reason to go for bottom cross path with Papanaw or even like artillery battery. You're losing out on so much damage if you go for bottom cross path. Alright, so BFB incoming. I think I might have to use stun here so that way we're actually fine against this. So it seems like we're doing some pretty good damage. Hold on. Yeah, one BFB we can take down, but like multiple, I'm not really sure. Also, this round might be a bit of a struggle just because a lot of zebras this round. And we can't actually pop black balloons anymore. So hopefully this doesn't like create a massive rego farm. Ooh, we are already struggling quite a bit. Come on. Alright, that was pretty close. I'm kind of curious to see how fortified mobs are. I do believe that there are fortifieds this round, aren't there? I think that might be 64 where it's fortified mobs. This one's just regulars. Oh, there's fortifieds. Let's see. Let me focus the fortifieds here. The purples, I believe, are fine. Shouldn't worry about that. Sub can take care of it. Ooh boy, it actually seems that we are not 100% fine for fortifieds. Okay, I had to use Striker's Stun for that one, but hopefully we're fine against this one. This one's gonna get pretty far. Okay, 63 should be no problem. Biggest one OP, or big one OP. Yep, perfect. Yeah, so it seems like, you know, big one's actually a pretty solid mid-game option now. The only issue with it is that if you go for big one, you kind of have to go for biggest one. It's because I don't really think big one is going to scale all that well up until, like, you know, the kind of late 80s. Which I guess may not be a bad thing, but who knows. It's kind of one of those mid-game towers where it's like, once you get it down, you can have to go for the tier 5. Also, I think we're dead here. Yeah, multiple fortified mobs, and we're so close to. Let me see if it actually micro a little bit better. Kind of use Jones' ability. Okay, so I kind of want to use the Striker Stun on the F mobs, not these guys. I can take these guys out pretty easily. I think I'll stun it now. Alright, we only got 3 of them to take out. Hopefully, should be just fine. We're going to do equal damage on all of them is the thing, but still not looking too hot so far. Okay, we got 1 off. Come on. Perfect, perfect. 65 more zebras and blacks. Alright, come on. There we go. 2 BFBs. Alright, let's see here. I'll use stun immediately. Just to pop down the BFBs. And then once these guys pop, I don't really know what I'm going to do. Alright, so we got 1 set. I didn't really want to pop both at one time. Hopefully that's fine. Let me use stun again. And boom, there we are. And then biggest one coming in pretty soon. So mid game's not really as free as I thought it was, but still, I think it's still pretty good for what we're getting. Off the Coast is an advanced map, although I will admit it's probably one of the more easier advanced maps. I don't really think this map is too difficult. Alright, More F mobs here, that's not good. We missed one of them with the stun, hopefully that's fine. Level 10 doesn't really add any damage, so I can't really use it. But this does seem a lot better than 62, perfect. And I think after this run, we'll be able to afford biggest one now. Alright, let's see how this ZOMG is. ZOMG should be pretty easy. 50 damage Burny stuff tick is pretty crazy. Yeah, we're doing some pretty decent damage on it. Yeah, it's pretty good, pretty good. Although we will need help against, like, you know, more ZOMGs. I think 97 might be a bit of a problem round. 2 fortified ZOMGs might be a bit difficult. I'm gonna start working on overclock because why not? Would be fun to see if I could save for ultra boost, but I actually don't think there's enough money to go for it. I'll just kind of use it off cooldown just to speed up these rounds a little bit. It shouldn't be too bad. DDT rounds might be a bit interesting. See how those are. It seems that we're actually kind of struggling against fortifieds here. Yeah, I guess having no extra fortified damage does really kind of hurt this guy. So 85, we have 2 ZOMGs. Actually, let me use this now, because why not? And this should be a little bit better than 80. Yeah, a lot better. And we get more consistent stunning too, which is another good thing. And Jones is going to get level 20 pretty soon, so that's pretty nice. Maybe it would have been worth it to go for Energizer just to have level 20 Jones earlier. That double damage was something I would like to try out. And it would have reduced cooldowns on the double damage as well. Let me actually use Overclock yet again for this round. Because, I mean, ZOMGs are pretty slow, so we should have Overclock up again by the time the 4 ZOMGs kind of get in range. And I could stun here. I don't think 88 is going to be too difficult, so I'll stun. And then I'll use this, stun again. And this should be easy peasy. Sure is. This is basically this is like having a 5-2-0 biggest one at home, honestly. Just having overclock on it. And if you have like 2 overclocks, you could have 100% uptime on the overclock ability. If that's what you wanted to go for. Alright. 89. 89 might be a bit difficult. We do struggle a bit against fortifieds, and there's kind of a lot of F mobs here. Alright, we'll take them out pretty easily. Should I use? Yeah, I'll use it. We should have overclock up again by 90. Okay, seems like we don't, but at least we have some... We'll have it up a little bit. Stun. Okay, so DET is not too bad. Oh, not great. Might struggle a bit against 95. Maybe I'll just go until I die and see what I want to spend like my 50k or so on. Alright, what? Oh, Jones is actually 20 now. Cool. Jones is 20. Alright, so it does mean we have the double damage, which I might need to use on 95 here. Although not yet, not yet. I'll use Striker's Stun. I will use Overclock because we desperately need it. For the ZOMGs here. And then hopefully we can break those down. Let me use this again. I don't want to use level 20. I might need it for 93 DTs. Hopefully not. Hopefully we can actually beat ZOMGs before Overclock wears off. It seems like we might just barely be able to. Alright. Perfect, perfect. Alright. I'll just use Overclock immediately. Just because why not? Let's see how 93 is. It's alright. It's alright. Not too amazing. Let's get these mobs and then BFBs popping in pretty soon. Seems like we're gonna have 60,000 going in or so going into 95, which is pretty nice. That does mean I'm like 17k off of Ultra Boost. I am pretty close. I am holding out hope. 93, I need to use this immediately. We'll have it up by the time 95 rolls in. 95 is a pretty long round. Oh, there's a lot of ZOMGs here. Let me stun again. Overclock's about to wear off soon. Hopefully we can do some decent damage to the ZOMGs before overclock wears off. Alright, we got that. We got one ZOMG down. I think we have this. We have this. And I think we should be fine. We have more than enough peers to take out all the MOAs that are going to spawn from these BFBs. Perfect, perfect. And then I'll just kind of wait until the DTs roll in before I actually use level 20 and overclock. For like 10k off of Ultra Boost. Use this, stun, double damage. And that double damage does apply to the main attack, not just the Burny stuff as well. Okay, come on. I don't want to spend money this round, but it seems that we have to. We were so close to Ultra Boost too. I mean, if I buy anything, I think the dream is dead. Unfortunate. But I do believe we can afford Homeland, can't we? We're close, but I mean, Crawl to Arms I'll take. Ultra Boost dreams are dead, unfortunately. I mean, level 20, overclock, and Call to Arms should be enough. I'll use this. Hold on, I need to select this ability. Alright, there we go. And this should be pretty easy 95 with everything active. Spoke too soon, although we were pretty close. If I just delay the ability a bit longer, we'll probably have it. We're unable to kind of afford Homeland, but we are pretty close to it, so I will just kind of maybe go for that. Go for an Ultra Boost at home. Alright, let's do that. Let's do that. And I think I will hold off on using Jungle Drums, oh not Jungle Drums, Call to Arms. I'll use it now. Kind of stagger a little bit. Are we good? Hopefully we are good. Last wave of DTs are rolling in. Okay. I kind of have to leave it here. Let me stun. And it seems that we are fine. Oh, that's so close. We got this. We got this. I am holding out hope for Homeland. Okay, I think I'll start by stunning. I'll use double damage, this, and kind of use everything kind of immediately. And then when we have everything active, we do really good damage here. Perfect. So it's just kind of using everything immediately. No need to kind of stagger damage. Perfect. And then we'll get Homeland by like the end of this round, I believe. Which should be nice. Also, still seems that we're still struggling against fortified Moabs. I need to use this now. I don't want to use Call to Arms because we're at Homeland, thankfully. Okay, almost leaked the yellow. I might have to use Homeland, but I kind of want to save it for 97. 2 fortified ZOMGs is kind of scary. I mean, even though ZOMGs are slow, Homeland does have a pretty, like, decently long cooldown. So I'm not too sure. Alright, perfect. Now we just have ZOMGs left. I think I'll wait for... I could use double damage here. I don't really know if I want to. I think I'll wait for overclock and then I'll use double damage. Yeah, I think we have to use double damage because that's way too far along the track. Alright, come on. We just burst down all these insides, we should be fine. Alright, perfect. Now we have Homeland up for 97. This does kind of mean we want to have Homeland up for 98, but that should be fine. Also, just kind of realized I do need to invest into a Spike Storm for around 100. I don't think we'll have enough for that round. So let's just use Homeland and Overclock, and we should have it. Although even still, it's taking a long time to pop. Okay, Homeland wore off. Didn't mean to use Drone's ability there, but that should be fine. Oh, come on. Ah, too slow for micro. Man, Mortar strategy still be micro heavy even after all these buffs. Let's use Homeland, let's use Stun, let's use Overclock. And then just try to burst these down as much as we can. Okay, Homeland wore off. I'll just stun whenever it comes up. Use stun again. I don't want to use double damage here, even though I do have it up. I will use Homeland for this part. Because, I mean, if we have double damage and overclock, I'm okay with that. Okay, 97 is beaten. Now let's see how 98 is. Let me just use... I'll just get this just because I know I need it for 100. I think I'll use double damage and everything now. Why not? Let's see how the damage is. Oh, that's really good. We burst down all the ZMGs like really quickly. And we have Homeland up, which I'll use right now. I'll get Spike Storm to charge the cooldown. I just kind of realized, hold on, let me actually move this over here because we need abilities for 99. I just kind of remembered that round exists, so let me actually move this here. Perfect. We're stalling. We'll have up overclock, but I'm not really sure if overclock is going to be enough for 99. Yeah, we only have overclock up, so let's see how it is. Okay, I'll stun. Even though it's less DTs than 95, there's just a lot of damage to kind of go through with DTs. It's pretty close. If I get white hot, I might actually have a chance. I don't want to use the ability. Let's stun. Just to get a bit more mob damage on the DTs. Oof. Hopefully it's not screwed here, because I can't buy anything. It's not like I can go for Sabo, because the cooldown won't come up in time. I definitely did use too many abilities for the thing. Might have to use Spike Storm. Guess that's just what we're gonna have to do here. I didn't even buy White Hot, so it's not even like Spike Storm's doing a whole lot. Hopefully we don't die to these. Okay. Kind of Spike Storm up, but we do have double damage and Homeland, so I guess that's okay. I'll kind of use this immediately, because why not? I mean, we do have like 10k to spend, but like, still. We're gonna pop these pretty late. Spike Storm. Finally, once the battle, like halfway through the track. Okay, we popped it. We have Homeland up for the ZMG insides. Perfect. So let me use Stun. Homeland. We have Homeland and Overclock active. Come on. And easy. Did have a bit of struggle in the middle a bit, but we did pretty good damage. 1.8 million on the biggest one. Pretty good. Fortunately, we're not able to save for Ultra Boost, but one day I'll get this guy in Chimps mode. But yeah, that's pretty fun. Biggest one, I think, is pretty good now, as well as Big One. Pretty good mid-game option. Although, you know, the problem with kind of using Big One for mid-game is that you're kind of roped into using Biggest One. I don't see a reason why you'd stop at Big One and then go for some other tier 5. It just kind of seems like a waste of mid-game potential. But, yeah, that was that. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, subscribe, and join Discord. Link is down below in the description. Have a nice day.